Hello, hello, everyone. My name is Tia Richardson, pronouns she and her, and I'm the founder and head consultant of Facil Consulting. So, as you know, we have started this awesome partnership roundup with some people that we partner with in the community and companies that we partner in love and trust. And today we are bringing you another conversation with one of our partners. And I would love for her to talk about herself, her company, all things fabulous in Nicole's fashion. So I will go ahead and pass it over to Nicole to talk a little bit about herself and her company, and then we'll get into some questions to get to know her a little bit more. Nicole?
Thank you, Tia. I am so happy to be here. It's so amazing to see the work that you're doing and have the honor of partnering with you. As Tia mentioned, my name is Nicole Guanzura. My pronouns are she and her, and I am the CEO and founder of Education Advancement Consulting, fondly known as EAC. And we are on a mission to reduce the access gap that currently exists, creating barriers for underrepresented minorities, women, and first-generation individuals on their path to business school and higher education. So we are reducing that gap through workshops. We are doing speaking engagements, and all of that is combined with our 5-step proprietary method that makes this process, this journey easier, attainable. And we're partnering with great organizations like yours, educational institutions, just to really make a path to build those diverse pipelines and ensure that folks have resources. They exist, but we need to connect the dots.
Yes, y'all, Nicole and her team are awesome. Nicole, tell us a little bit more about what got you here. Like, what was the turning point in your journey to make you start EAC?
EAC was a dream in the making that I didn't know even existed.
Come on.
Yes, you know what? My family immigrated from the United States 18 years ago now from Zimbabwe, and my family was new to the country. My parents had gotten degrees outside of the United States, and so we were starting from scratch our educational process. And it was really thanks to the help of the community around us, really helping me navigate that path to undergrad and helping me see what resources would be available for me to afford college, to be able to navigate how to get to a career I love, and most importantly, how to find my fit in those spaces, new country, new culture, new everything. And because of that, my career ended up in higher education and helping underrepresented populations through MBA admissions, business school admissions, and then switching to early career work and helping those who identify as women utilize business acumen to figure out what the next step in their career was. So it just turned into a lifelong career of just wanting to help and support. But then I realized that there was still a gap that existed for those schools that are not maybe as well recognized, or maybe companies that are sponsoring education but aren't providing the preparation necessary for their employees to be really, really successful, and in turn also benefit their employee retention, employee engagement. Educational institutions, students are nervous about how to navigate their college career. They're overwhelmed by choice or sometimes lack thereof. So it motivated me to create the company, create a method to make things easier. And it was something that came naturally, which I loved more than anything. I didn't have to think too far because it was now my turn give back to those who have supported me and empower them to do the same for others.
I love that. What would you say to like somebody who has the dream of going and getting their MBA, but it's hard financially? Either you're, working full time, being a consultant, putting yourself through school, or you have like a family and trying to find a way to fit that in and break away, but it's still a priority. What advice would you give them?
I would say start by assessing the why. Why do you want to go and pursue it? And what places and resources are around you? Does the company sponsor education? If so, how much? How do you reap that benefit? So that you know that even before you start the search, even before you start the assessment, how much budget you're working with. Maybe it's not something that you're prepared to take a $200,000 loan. Business school can be expensive. So starting with the why and what resources might potentially be available, are there mentors or colleagues at work that have been through business school? And also, what are your goals afterwards? Start thinking about that. I would also say, I think maybe I've listed 4 things, maybe a 5th thing to think about is just focusing on your experiences so far too, because once you're really prepared, the best part about the business school application is when you hit submit. So if you're prepared with what your goals are, what your budget looks like, what considerations are there, who you could turn to potentially, and then how you're putting your best foot forward, courtesy of your experiences, the rest works itself out in a path that's so much more manageable and so much more attainable.
Yes, I love that. And I think the key that you started with is starting with the why. I think that is key in anything that we do. And to that point, I would love to piggyback off of that.
Yeah.
Why EAC? Why that name?
It was really interesting when I was thinking about the name in all the ways that could describe the work I do. I'm not a typical MBA admissions consultant. I don't do the individual work, and nor do I most of my focus is on group education and finding funding to unburden the burdened. So already I'm not in a typical category. And then I was thinking about what is the crux of what I do, and that is advancing folks in education. So education advancement, and I threw in consulting there. It made sense. It took me about 7 tries, not even gonna lie, to figure out what the perfect way was going to be, but to me, it made sense. To the folks I ran it through, it made sense. I'm focusing on education. I want to help folks advance their education. I want to help those who empower candidates. And I'm consulting you to do that. So education advancement consulting, it all came together.
Yes, ma'am. I love it. I also have another question around when you think on all the work that you've done, the amazing work you and your team do with all the people you work with and the clients you work with, what is one that stands out to you the most?
One that stands out to me the most was actually a very full circle moment that recently happened. I got the opportunity to host one of my workshops at my alma mater, the same alma mater that had reached out to me when I was a middle school student, trying to figure out what was next for me. And now they were bringing me in to talk to other students, and more than just talk to them and share the story, but also talking to those students about how to navigate their college experience. And it was a powerful full circle moment because I was on that other side. And another recent, more individual win is one of the very first clients I worked with when I was still figuring this out, is graduating with her MBA this spring. So she's made it to the end. And I remember having this conversation with her when she was still in the workforce, trying to figure it out. And now she's about to be an MBA. And it is the best moment, just seeing how all of that comes back full circle.
Ooh, and you're getting emotional even talking about it. I
Yes.
love it so much. Nicole, how can people find you and get in contact with you?
The best way to find me is on LinkedIn. If you're looking at, for me personally, Nicole Guanzura on LinkedIn. And for EAC's page, it's linkedin.com/simply-EAC. So very easy to find me. And our website is www.simplyeac.com. So can't forget it. Super simple and the best ways to get in touch.
Awesome. And we'll make sure we link her information below. We are so excited to have her as our partner in our partner roundup because as we're all working together. Our mission at Hasil Consulting is really to transform the workforce by offering operations and people solutions that are equitable and sustainable. And part of that is when you talk about people is furthering their education. There are companies out there that are looking to develop their talent from an educational lens. And Nicole's company is who you need to be partnering with. So thank you again, Nicole, for being on our partnership roundup. We'll have her information below, and then you can also find some information about her on our website. Have a good one.
Thanks, Tia. It's such a pleasure.